If you've been doing things that help you get through the night, but that may affect your dreams, your REM sleep stages, and costing you emotional processing in the process, then this message is for you. My dear fellow survivor, welcome. I'm so honored you're here with me today because today I answer a question that so many survivors have. And it's a question I had myself for a long time. And this question is, if I've been doing things that help me cope to sleep through the night and get through the night, and I'm realizing that it might have long-term costs, then how am I supposed to start reconciling this and still get to my next healing step? Rightfully so. It's a question that came up for me when I realized that certain substances, and for me, it was THC. When I realized that it was actually costing me my dreams, I didn't dream. It was costing me my REM sleep stage. I never went through REM sleep. And in the process of not having dreams or REM sleep stage, it cost me emotional processing because there's really deep processing and ultimately integration that occurs while we sleep. So, and I'm not here to shame coping mechanisms. I'm not here to tell you to quit whatever you're on. Not at all. Far from it. Um, I'm just here to make you aware that survival coping mechanisms sometimes don't lead to long-term healing. And this is something that is really, really impactful because whatever we do to get through the night, ask yourself, what am I doing to get through the night? Right? Am I sleeping well or not at all? Am I dreaming or not at all? Right? Because those questions will actually help you address what you need to address in order to have deeper emotional processing, which occurs at night. So, again, for me, it wasn't about quitting everything and changing everything around all at once. It was about making small adjustments based on this awareness, because from awareness comes discernment. So, because I was able to become aware of this, that I was actually impacting my emotional processing and integration in the process, I was able to tweak what I was doing, right? So it's not that I quit everything, it's just that I changed things around so that I could still have access to the REM sleep stage. I could still have access to the dreams. And in the process, I could have access to the deeper emotional healing that occurs during sleep. But if we're not thinking about, you know, this is not about optimizing everything, this is about not robbing yourself from deep emotional integration and processing. So, as long as you start asking yourself these questions, then you can start at least knowing what certain survival and coping mechanisms are costing you in the long term for your healing, right? And even if I have years and years in psychology and even research sleep, for some reason my brain did not make this information available to me, especially in my first few years of going through my journey, of growing through my journey. And then one day, this awareness came in. And like I said, with greater awareness comes greater discernment to choose your most helpful path. And with that comes increased regulation, and your nervous system can process, like I said, on a deeper level, can integrate on another level as well, and ultimately leads to healing. So, my dear fellow survivor, I'm not saying this to shame anyone. I'm not saying this to quit whatever you're on. I'm saying this to make you aware that certain survival mechanisms are about showing ourselves compassion. It's amazing to have self compassion, it's deeply needed for healing. But healing requires awareness. So once we become aware of the cost of our survival mechanisms, then we can at least have this knowledge planted in here and allow it to unfold organically. And in this way, we can then unlock greater processing, greater integration, and greater healing. So, my dear fellow survivor, I say this with all my heart. Please take good care of yourself. And of course, may you be filled with music and heal.